Savita's parents, who are yet to come to terms with the loss, are angry. They say neither the Indian nor Irish officials have bothered to get in touch with them. They're in the dark over whether this probe is heading in the right direction. Remember, Ireland, while ordering 2 probes into Savita Halappanavar's death, had said that the probe team will liaise with her husband. Headlines today is Priyambada met her parents in Belgaum in Karnataka. They're pressing for an independent probe that should include an Indian member in it.
Nobody has talked, nobody have doctors from Ireland, they have not talked at all. They have not told what is, and no one from Ireland, they have brought me anything to my notice. I want independent probe for that. That Ireland government should give to independent probe for that. I expect Indian government to do more and to give justice to myself. I request Irish government to change the law regarding the regarding abortion.
ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಯಾರ. ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಇದು ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಇದನ್ನ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇವರು ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮದೊಳಗೂ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ 4 ತಿಂಗಳ ಕೂಸಿನ ಜೀವ ಉಳಿಸೋ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಇಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜೀವನ ಈ ತರ ಟ್ರಬಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ. ಇದು ಯಾವ ಧರ್ಮದೊಳಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಈ ತರ ನೀವು ಕ್ರಿಶ್ಚಿಯನ್ ಧರ್ಮ ಅಂತೀರಿ, ಕ್ರಿಶ್ಚಿಯನ್ ಧರ್ಮದಾಗೂ ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಮಾಡಿ, ಮೊದಲ್ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನನ್ ಮಗಳಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಆಕಿನ ಮೆಮೊರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುದು ಅದು ನಾವು ಮೊದಲ್ ನಮಗೆ ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್.
Well, while the loss of their child is irreparable, the family is hurt that their case is not being taken up strongly by India.
Savita's family members were waiting to welcome her baby home. But now, this house has a stream of visitors coming in to give condolences. With the Ireland government yet to get in touch with Savita's family, all that they want now is justice for her. They are ready to fight for it till the end. With camera person Shiv Murthy, Priyambada in Belgaum for Headlines Today.
Well, the death of Indian dentist Savita Halappanavar has raised many questions over legislations in Ireland over abortion. And to find the answers, our correspondent Lavina Tandon travelled to Dublin. What we found were new versions and facts that go on to underscore the archaic laws of the country that perhaps led to Savita's death.
In Dublin, I find that the tragic death of Savita has sparked off a raging debate about the entire issue of abortion. At least the women here seem to understand the bitter reality that a law dated back to 1861 has killed Savita. Now, is this law effective in this country itself? No, because if an Irish woman wants an abortion, she simply travels to England, a luxury that Savita with her failing health could not exercise. Now the question being asked here, as in India, is will the government clarify the law within the month as promised, or as critics say, in the fear of a backlash from the conservative pro-abortionists, the government will only drag its feet? Lavina Tandon for Headlines Today from Dublin.
Well, the biggest finding by a reporter was that since abortion laws are stringent, over 4,000 pregnant women travel to England from Ireland in a year to abort their fetuses.
Earlier this year, the United Left Alliance and some independent TDs put forward a bill precisely to allow for abortion in this country where there was a threat to the life or the health of a mother, and outrageously the government, even though they were committed to bringing in such legislation, voted against it. After the tragic death of Savita, that political cowardice has really been exposed and resulted in a situation where Savita may have been saved if the medical practitioners had the legal basis to intervene.
I think there is still a kind of conservative Catholic ideology that operates in Irish politics. So I think that that's a partial explanation. I would argue that a lot of it is cowardice. and hypocrisy, and they like to say that Ireland is abortion-free. But abortion in Ireland is a reality. It's exactly the same as most other European countries. The only difference is that the abortions don't take place here. Women go abroad to Britain and to other European countries. But again, the thing that is never talked about, it's fine if you're middle class and you have access to money, like it would cost you approximately €1,000 to have an abortion. But if you're working class, if you're poor, if you're unemployed, you don't have access.
For us all, we know that 4,000 Irish women a year travel to England for abortion, and we know that at least some of them are travelling in circumstances like those of Savita, where their pregnancy posed a risk to their health or to their lives.
Irish men means the greatest lie in Irish society, that men think they don't know any woman who's had an abortion. Every Irish man knows, whether it's their wife, their daughter, their mother, their sister, one of or more than one of the women that they know has had an abortion.
The big question is, will Savita's death act as a catalyst to shake up the Irish government from its stupor? Will the gap between Irish laws and policies finally be bridged? Anti- and pro-life supporters are engaged in a heated debate over this anti-abortion law, tilting scales heavily in favour of the unborn child. While pro-life activists say the Indian's death must act as a wake-up call, the Irish Prime Minister says no decision will be taken in haste.
Irish society now for a great number of years, and I'm not going to be rushed into a situation by thwarted numbers on any side. This is something that has to be treated rationally and openly and truthfully, and that's what will happen.
Well, so what's stopping Ireland from changing its laws and saving lives so that another Savita Halappanavar is not lost to the conservative beliefs? Well, while Ireland's constitution officially bans abortion, a 1992 Supreme Court ruling found the procedure should be legalized for situations when the woman's life is at risk from continuing the pregnancy. 5 governments since have refused to pass a law resolving the confusion, leaving Irish hospitals reluctant to terminate pregnancies except in the most obviously life-threatening circumstances.
And this year is the 20th anniversary of the X case, so we've had 20 years of inaction on this. And I think this year a campaign has started again to provide legislation for X. And I think unfortunately, we haven't been able to achieve that. And unfortunately, Savita has paid an enormous cost for that, and she lost her life.
I do think that this case and the issues that it has raised will be a catalyst for us in Ireland to change the law. I am a member of one of the government parties, the Labour Party. We are a pro-choice party, and we have campaigned for some years now to change the law. This case, I think, and the tragic and heartbreaking death of Savita will be the catalyst that will allow us to change the law finally, and will persuade the other politicians that we need to move urgently to ensure no future tragic deaths like this one.
Well, there are several unanswered questions as well. If the fetus was not going to survive, why didn't the doctors save Savita's life instead? Did the lack of detailed abortion laws and guidelines affect the doctor's decision to intervene? Third, why hasn't the Irish government changed the laws on abortion following the Supreme Court's 1992 order? For how long will the Irish government fear backlash and look away from the curse of their arcane abortion laws?